Alright, so we're going to be doing the last of the 7 dead sinners for my 7 dead sinners document, in which I am doing 7 undead, one based on each of the 7 deadly sins. And the only one left is lust. So I toyed around with a couple ideas for this, and in the end, I have no idea what I want to do, right? I mean, this is an interesting one. So I toyed around with doing like a sick old man, right? Like a Harvey Weinstein kind of character. But I didn't think that would come across as like, you know, lustful. So I thought, yeah, I need to do somebody young who can, like, you know, look like that. And I don't know what an attractive man looks like, so we're going to do another woman. One of these for lust, even though I don't think it's a particularly womanly trait, but, you know, everyone suffers from it a little bit, right? So what we're going to do is, this woman was beautiful at some point, right? But time and death and undeath have not been kind to her. Her figure is suffering, and so on and so forth. So that's what we're going to try to portray here. Is this lustful, kind of horny lady here who clearly at one time was pretty good looking, but now that her flesh has started to rot away, and this eyeball is all sunken in here, and the flesh is peeled away, and all of this. She's just not looking like she used to look. And every time I try to envision this, I get Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove, right? She's always got that low-cut dress with no sleeves, but she's absolutely grotesque, right? And so you're like, what the heck are you doing wearing that, right? That is what I envisioned for this character. So we're going to see if we can capture that in an undead. Alright, so I got the melting eye here. That's always a fun effect. And we got, I think I'm going to have like the jaw falling off almost, right? So that this mouth is way more open than it should be, and she's like, clearly thinks she's like smiling in some beautiful way, but wow, she is not, right? She's way too shriveled up and stuff for that to be working. And we're gonna do some big hair. Big hair is nice, right? I don't know. And it's gotten frizzy with time, and so it's not what it once was, right? But you can tell that she used to take great pride in how big her hair was. And again, all of this feels like pride again. It's almost like pride is the quintessential sin of them all. Like, it's like, I think on Wrath there was a lot of pride there too, because it was like, I'm angry because my pride was hurt, and this is, you know, kind of the same vanity and stuff, right? So I wonder, on a philosophical level, if this is really the best way to split things up. But from the set of undead for Halloween, it seemed like a pretty good model. And so that's what we're doing. So we're just trying to portray that wow, she is dead, very much dead, but still hot to trot and ready to give the living any STDs that they will let her give them. Alright, so we're gonna... I don't even know. So everything else we've done has been kind of Victorian clothes, and this, I just don't know how I want to handle this. I'm thinking, you know, she was once a very busty woman, and her assets have sunk somewhat. Maybe one more than the other, right? You got this weirdness going on here, and I'm thinking, you know, that she's still in undeath, able to strike some sort of flirty pose here. Like, I'm gonna like have this I like this. I'm gonna put this hand out, doing like the finger thing. If I can do that. That sounds hard, but we'll give it a try. But yeah, we're definitely gonna have this all sunken in and hanging off down here. Because that is what happens when your skin is all flabby and undead and falling off you. That kind of worked better than it should have. We're gonna hang it down a little further and have a little, I don't know. Yeah. Something like that. We're gonna come and we're gonna again have some flab on this arm, which means we need to be flab. We need to have, yeah. But she's still doing this. I don't know. I don't even know how to. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do this in real life, right? So maybe it's a little far-fetched that this undead would be doing it, but let's try it. I think it's worth trying. So she's got like the finger and she's doing the, yeah, come on over here, mister. Okay, I think that worked pretty well for that hand. And so I think we definitely need to put the other hand on the hip here, right? So like, what are these dresses shaped like? I don't know. Like maybe it's got a decent like small sleeve hole here, right? Because armpits are not attractive. But then it's got like a cutout on the side, right? So it's got like a strap coming across the back. It's not completely backless, but it's, I don't know. And she's just gonna have this hand on the hip here in a kind of a flirty way. Flirt. And that's it's not bad. Not Yzma, which is good. I wasn't super pleased with the Yzma image. I think we need to have this hip come out considerably further so that the pose is there, right? We really want her leaning forward and sticking that butt out. That's the pose that I'm imagining here. And you know, that's probably about it. I guess we could do like you know what I'm talking about, like a slit on the side. How is that designed? What's the goal on that? I don't know. I've never understood. But that requires us to draw a leg. Is it worth it to have to draw a leg? What are we gonna do with the leg? I don't know. If you're posed like that, how is your leg position? It's almost like it has to be bent, right? I think so. It's so awkward. Why would you stand like that? And then we'll have like, so definitely high heels, right? As long as we're doing a leg, we gotta have high heels on this. Ooh, when I do the coloring, am I gonna want to put like grotesque makeup on her? I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna matter. Just the high heels reminded me that makeup is a thing that she might be wearing, but I'm not gonna worry about it till then. Like that. So I guess she'd have another leg kind of out here, coming into the other heel. Other heel, other shoe, other high heel shoe. Right. That just looks incredibly uncomfortable. Why do women do this to themselves? Alright, I think we're ready to go to ink. I don't think I'm missing anything there. Oh, you know what? This dress is going to come around on the back side, right? It's not going to be that short all the way around. So something like that is definitely in the cards for this dress. Alright. So we'll just start from down here. So once you got the pencil looking about how you want, you don't have to clean it up too good. You just gotta come through with the pen and firm up the lines that you want to keep in as solid a line as possible. You can fix it up again in the digital side, but going over it again in pen allows us to erase the pencil, and even if there's a little bit of pencil left behind when we do the contrast on GIMP or Photoshop, we can completely remove any sign that the pencil was ever there, right? And then you can clean the pen up at that point if you want to. Usually once you're done coloring the pen outline itself, the quality of it isn't particularly apparent. So we roughed it in pencil, and then we're going to come through and just get the shapes that we want to keep, which is usually most of it. You really could start with the pen if you wanted, right? I've done a few of these types of drawings where I started in pen right from the beginning, and then you just roll with it when you do something that you don't want. And it doesn't work very well with like people and stuff, but like monstrosities. And I was sitting in a engineering class, and I was doing a pen drawing a few years ago, and I didn't even know where I was going with it, and so I just kind of started with a dragon head, and the next thing I knew, I had tentacles growing out of the side of the head, and the mouth was all closed up and spooky, and I decided that it was the ghost of a dragon in the end, right? And so, you know, if you don't have something really particular that you're going for, you can just start with the pen, and you don't need to even worry if you're achieving what you were setting out to achieve, because you didn't have a plan to begin with, right? So I think that's worth trying too, is forget the pencil every once in a while and just go all in with the pen. I'm probably going to knock some of those teeth out when we get to GIMP. I use GIMP. Same reason I'm not using a Cintiq right now. It's free. And I think that free gets the job done for a hobbyist like me. And honestly, if you offered me Photoshop now, I wouldn't want to have to learn it. I'm a little lazy that way. I know GIMP already. It's getting the job done. I haven't really been shown any features that Photoshop has that GIMP doesn't, that I need. That's not true. I've definitely seen features that Photoshop has with regards to text and things, where Photoshop is definitely better, but I don't use those features terribly often. So they're not very appealing to me. And who knows? I don't think that people have stopped working on GIMP. I think eventually the community will add that kind of functionality, I'm sure, but I'm not holding my breath, and I don't really need it. And of course, if you're working in any kind of environment where you're doing any kind of graphic design and stuff, then you might have access to better tools than GIMP. And go ahead and take advantage of them. I am not. I am working with absolutely nothing that would help me in this endeavor, so I do the free things. And you just kind of capture all the lines. And then when it really comes out, and you know, maybe this is just a giant screw up, but they really start looking good when you get them colored and get the shading added. All of the errors and awkwardness seems to just go away when you get that believability of, is that a shadow? This can't be a mistake because there are shadows. So we're finishing up the ink here, so the next thing is going to be to let the ink dry and then erase the pencil away. So I'm just going to skip to coloring. Alright, with Lust scanned in, it's time to color and shade this monstrosity. So the first thing is to up the contrast. And that's going to give us a picture with mostly black but a little bit of color in there. So we're going to select by color the white, invert our selection, and where is my toolbox? Oh, has it been there the whole time? Okay, good. So we're gonna up the size on this a bit and just get every piece of this so that there's no multicolored madness in there. That should be all. Select all, copy, paste, put that on a new layer. That's because the layer we had before cannot support an alpha layer. So this new layer supports alpha, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to make one just the ink layer so that the lines are nice and solid no matter what we do underneath. We're going to duplicate the layer, make a color layer, and then we're going to pick some colors. So I think it's only appropriate for this to be a bright red dress, right? So we're going to do a bright red dress and bright red shoes to go with it. It's only appropriate. Inside the dress too. And then we gotta pick a skin tone. So just kind of a bluish pink here. Boop, boop, boop. And a hair color. Crap. Alright, so I see the opening. Do I? I see multiple openings. So we're going to grab the pen, make it nice and small. I'm going to give that a try. Filling in the openings with just yellow to see if I like that. And then we're going to pick an eye color. So I like to do just a really light gray for the whites on these undead. Pick kind of desaturated blue for the iris. Might be about the right size. Excuse me. Put it over. She's looking over here. And then a much darker gray for the pupil. I'm going to go down in size a bit. Oh, look what we've done. We put some blue over there. So I'm going to do a select by color on the eyes and then get that blue back. go back up to size 10. I think we did size 10. We're going to switch to the gray. Get the size 4 back out. And just the slightest piece of pupil there. Next, I want the inside of the mouth, I guess, is going to be like a really dark red. I guess we're going to shadow it, so we won't go too dark red, and most of it will end up being darkly shadowed. And we want a gross teeth color. That could be a gross teeth color, right? Looks good. Oh, she's horrific. That's just terrible. I realized I didn't get the thumb right on here. This thumb is on the wrong side. This thumb should be on the other side of the hand, technically, with the gesture she's doing. It's too late to fix it, really, so we're just gonna roll with it. Yep, that's not good. It's fine. I noticed it right after I turned the camera off, but I'm not going to fix it. Don't care enough. Gross. Fingernails. Gross fingernails indeed. Alright, that looks like all the colors, I think. Don't think we missed anything. So, we're going to do a new layer. It's going to be completely transparent, and it's going to be the shadow layer. And we're going to switch to black, 100% black. We're going to make some shadows. So we want the sprayer, we want not 100% hardness, and let's go. So first I'm going to do skin sections, I guess. So select the skin color, get the spray can back out, go back to the shadow layer, and this section under the dress is going to be shaded, and then the back of the calf as well, just a little. Excuse me. I don't know if it's doing these videos or if I'm coming down with something. I've been coughing lately. So all the way down this. And then also here. So it's going to be quite dark up in there. Under the arm here, I think I was thinking about putting some hair in that pit, but I don't think that I'm gonna do that. I just don't wanna go there. I can't do it. Cannot do it. Already sickened by what I've created. Not good. Not good at all. So twisted. Oh my goodness. gonna go a little smaller for some of these other things. Actually, yeah, we're gonna do the shadow of the hair all through here. Get the shadow of the jaw, just ever so slightly on the underside of there. Inside the ear a bit, still under the hair some more. A little bit under the nose there. Under the eyes. Under the brows. Oh, that melty eye. I just don't even know. Okay. I think that's good for the skin. Let's do the red next. Excuse me. These are so long, I'm really not going to put any time into editing, so I'm sorry, those coughs are staying in tonight. Sure you understand. We definitely need some under the arm here. And a little under the hair there. Cool. A little on that shoulder. I'm sorry, I know I'm supposed to be doing it in here. I don't know how to do that. I think I'm gonna start with like a big one. Just do that. That's not big enough. That's fine. We'll leave that. We're also gonna do another big one. Bigger still. You'll see. You'll see what I'm going for. Now we're going to get the eraser out and fix all of the madness that we just created. So this might not have been worth it. Oh, shoot. I'm doing all this on like fucking color layer. Alright. Starting over. On the shadow layer. I kind of want to do, is there a way to just select in here? Oh. Yeah, there is. So let's do what we were doing before. We're just going to do what's it doing? going to scale it down like crazy. Come in here again. Scale it down like crazy. Come in here again. Okay, yeah, I think that's probably good. And then we're going to come back to the color layer. We're going to fuzzy select this. And then we're going to go back to this, and back to the shadow layer, and just kind of try to get the same effect on that section. It can be a little darker, I guess. Good. Now we're going to do the color layer. We're going to select by color the red. And we're going to go back to our normal size thing, Bob. And we're going to get back on the shadow layer because we want to be able to turn that on and off. What that does is it lets us change like the color of the dress and stuff dynamically as we're going along, which I think we're not going to necessarily be doing on this, but I like to have the option. Excuse me. Oops. And I'm not going to put any folds in this dress like I like to do on clothes normally. I guess it's just a sleeker dress shape or something, but it just doesn't have them. What's that? Why is this not working? Something there, something there. And then, oops, too much. Excuse me. That should be good for the red. Now we're going to go back and we're going to select the hair, I guess. See what we can do with that. Shadow layer. The hair, we're mostly just going to be putting a little bit on the bottom edges, a little bit in here, I guess. Maybe along in there. In the back, maybe. Shadows behave a little bit weird in here, and I don't understand it well enough to really do a good job of this, so we're just going to do a mediocre job of this and call it good enough. Good. Good. So now we're going to get inside the mouth here. And that's just going to be pretty dark all around, right? But we'll leave a little bit of light at the front here. And, oops. I'm fine with that being on the color layer, actually. Now we're going to get the teeth. Did we do the hair on the shadow layer? We did. Good. So the teeth are just going to be shaded by the lip up here, and then not much else. Well, I'm a little surprised that I missed that. Where's our tooth color? We are missing one place, I think. We just gotta do the shadow on the eyeballs. So, to do that, we can't really select them anymore because I already differentiated their colors. So this is the type of thing where maybe you go through and you do some of the shadows before you do the colors, right? And that wouldn't be so bad. And then this would be a little easier. But we can just put the shadows where the lines are, and it turns out okay. And that's it for shadows on this crazy lady. We're going to do some highlights and then be done. I don't know if I want to do much with the highlights. I'm going to go straight yellow. And then just make it mostly white. So it's just a yellowish white. And we want to drop our opacity to 50%, not too far. I want a fairly big brush for this. And we're just going to go through and think about where it makes sense to maybe get some highlights. We'll go back and we'll this process is short enough that I'm not going to worry about where the edges are. We'll just go back and fix it in a second. Corner of the elbow there, a little bit here, a little bit there. You see, we're getting a lot of glow outside the person, right? We're going to fix that now. We're going to fix that once we've done the shoes. The shoes are the shiniest of all. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to select the outside the person area on the color layer and then come back to the highlight layer with a big ol' eraser and just clean up all the edges that we were sloppy with because I'm in a hurry to just be done with this. It is late at night. I work in the morning. Alright, and then we're going to call that good. I don't have any texture that I want to add to her. So, that's it. Thanks for watching.